So, you might have thought that was all really simple, that programming isn't hard. Well, let me tell you how incorrect you are. So I'm going to run through what all of that did in as concise steps as I can. So, we're going to start at the beginning. Once the game starts, it's going to grab and store player data, the variables of their stats, their strength, their defense, their magic, etc. Then it's going to find the enemy group table. What enemy group are we fighting? What enemies exist in that group? Then it's going to populate that, store the data, just same with the player data. Then I'm going to create the HUD elements. That's going to be all the heads-up display stuff. The health, the bars, the menus. And then I'm going to grab all the actors' dexterity values. This is going to be used for their ATB, which is their active time battle gauge. When that is full, they can act. Then I'm going to increase their ATB value based off of an ATB formula I've created. Then it's going to have that HUD bar, that ATB bar that shows you how full it is, update that to that value. The game's going to then check, okay, is that ATB bar full? If it's not, redo that all over again. If it is, we're going to go with the menu nightmare, which is fun. It's not fun for me. So, when your bar is full, you can hover over the bar with your mouse. That'll then bring up your menus. You can have attack, skill, or item as the first menu. Then you select which action you want. So if you're attacking, you're just going to select your target. If you're selecting a skill, what skill is it? If you're selecting an item, what item is it? Then you select your target. It's going to check if it's a valid target. If enemy 1 is dead, it's going to move on to enemy 2, so on and so forth. Then once you select your action type, your action, and your target, there's going to be a skill countdown. There's going to be a slight delay before your character actually attacks. When that countdown is 0, the entire game is going to essentially freeze. Nobody else is going to do any actions, no status effects are going to continue. It's going to grab whatever actor is attacking, and it's going to grab the skill that that actor is using. Then it's going to play the animation associated with that skill over the target. Then it's going to calculate the damage, which is based on the player's attacking stats, the power of the skill you're using, the enemy's defense, and some variance. After that, you're going to damage the target. You're going to take its health away from the damage you just dealt. And it's going to play the animation numbers over the target. So if you took 100, 100 is going to fly over the target's head. After that, it's going to reset the attacking actor's ATB all the way back to 0, and it's going to check if the target is dead. If the target is dead, you're going to remove that from the game state. Then it's going to check, are all targets dead? So are all enemies defeated? If that's true, then you're going to send in the next group of enemies, and you're going to level up your characters if it's applicable. If it's no to either of these things, then you're going to resume the universal ATB system, and you're going to do that all over again. So if this is about 20 steps, and it's a lot more than this, there's sub-steps to validate everything in between and to do calculations. There's also music, which Unreal doesn't have a lot of documentation for this in general, and sound effects, difficulty, the animation. Where's that at? The animation, that was a nightmare to figure out because not a lot of documentation on that, and it's not great. So yeah, that's how I set up to do one action on one enemy. That's how I got a guy to swing his sword.